Let's just go back to last week and we look at some of the developments we had last week at the National Prayer Breakfast. Just discuss a little bit of it and what we'll have as the political dynamics that will be shaping up the country.
Don't worry, we're not singing today. You don't have to worry about that. And as I do, I want to invite also my brother Raila and Kalonzo. We have hurt one another. On my behalf, Ndugu, I ask for your forgiveness. Yeah. And I tender my apology.
I want to say for all the things that I did say or do on behalf of all our teams, I want to ask for your forgiveness. And on my behalf, and all those behind us, I tender my apology.
On behalf of my team and myself, I am in front of this congregation gathered here, prayer breakfast, tender my apology to my brother. During our discussions, he accused me of having insulted him. I also told him he also insulted me. He called me Kimundu Muguruki. Apologize.
My brother William, you are the hustler number one. But a big hustler. I think you handed that over to me. I forgive you and may God bless you.
Do we have the right to be angry? Of course we do. But do we have the right to resist and refuse acceptance, forgiveness, and reconciliation? No, we don't.
All right. And the most consternating thing is that all of my panelists here were not at the prayer breakfast.
No, I was there.
You were there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Aaron Cheriot, I didn't see you. No?
Yeah, I was there.
We
arrived
very late.
Eh?
We arrived very late.
You arrived very late?
Very
Jaguar
late.
does
So
not
we could
pray.
not,
You're away.
get sittings in...
I was away, but I
was glad I was away because the singing was terrible.
You would have made it worse.
None of you are in the choir. Aaron Cheriot.
I sang actually.
You sang, you
I'm
did?
the one who brought in some sense of harmony. If I was not there, it would have been worse.
No harmony in that song, Bwana.
All right, but let's just discuss that issue briefly because we are also strapped for time as we are planning to wind up. So how does it really change the political dynamics? That yes, we have Kalonzo Musyoka from your party, and we've had also Wetangula, who he said they were not there, but Wetangula has actually called the whole show, or the whole gesture, a comedy show. This is purely a TV comedy show that Kenyans should not really, yes?
But a much-needed comedy show.
A much-needed comedy show.
Yeah, I think Wetangula, who is my friend, is being very selfish. Because I've been seeing his comments. There are ones that want to take us back to the bad space that we were occupying before the handshake. Dibal, this country needs peace. And I said here last time that the handshake was working. And it is working because just by Uhuru and Raila being or seeming to be together, even the security forces are working. They are arresting people. You know, because how I wish they would move quickly and begin arresting the high and mighty. Because if it's graft whichever way. And I saw Raila saying there at the prayer breakfast that we are going to fight corruption. That kind of resolve. I think everything in this country, Dibal, was heading south just for one word, corruption. If we can sort out corruption, we will sort out the institutions. You know, Otiende says it is not the institutions, it's the persons. But how? Of course, he's confirming that they are defending any institution that may have a legal inclination. So you defend the courts, you defend the EACC. I mean, what is there to defend in the EACC?
Thank you.
You know, but I want to say one last thing.
Briefly, yes.
This issue about the institutions, could it be that the IBC example has taught us that it doesn't matter which individuals, things will always go wrong? That we change and go to the institutions that the public can access, particularly Parliament. What if we went the Swedish way? Like you have one commissioner for IBC, even for anti-corruption, sitting next to Justin Muturi in Parliament. Parliament is an institution that Kenyans know its location. And Kenyans can decide today, Otiende and all these gentlemen sitting here, they are not serving us correctly. Why can't we just go and ban it? It will be citizen action. So this thing about individuals, the ones we are protecting, whether they are tobacco, you can't come here, Mutula, Senator, and say how good tobacco was. Tobacco was DPP when corruption was strife.
I talked about his legal career,
No, legal,
not his work.
No, but the two must go together. He was given that job. I
on that
I
legal-
participated in giving him a job based on that. In fact, I am surprised that somebody can pick him from there and make him a cabinet minister, as if there are no other untainted Kenyans. And I'm not saying he's tainted, but he did nothing. I mean, all 47 governors, a few of them, at least there are 10 who people know if you see them. Remember, they are the politicians I was telling you about.
Is that the political cleansing that Otiende Amolo was talking about?
Yes, but I'm just saying, Kivuda Kibwana is a governor working well.
Thank you.
But you know the other ones who are just stealing.
Thank you. For the interest of time,
Let me make 3 quick points.
let's take two.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, 2 quick points. I think what we saw is an act of reconciliation. But in any setup, you always need truth, justice, and then reconciliation. It is good to have where we are, but it cannot be complete. We must still expect to have truth and justice. And in doing so, it must be reconciliation not just of the leadership. It must be reconciliation of the citizenry. It is my hope and belief that the team, the task force, will come up with such measures that will end us in a situation where the populace can reconcile. Secondly, the handshake is important. The reconciliation is important. And it is possible that those will attack it because they might be like jilted lovers. Not because they do not support it, but they wish they were the ones in that dais. Yeah. And we must disabuse ourselves of that. One of the good things it has done in this fight against corruption for now is that it has debunked it from an ethnic perspective. People are able to say, let the president and all of us fight corruption irrespective of the ethnicity. If we were as divided as we have always been, it would have added another layer of problems in all this. But I still insist that corruption being a systemic problem, we must not focus only on ad hoc solutions. We need a systemic approach to address some of the deep-rooted issues that Senator Wamatangi was talking about.
As a country, don't we thrive on adhocracy? Everything on a knee-jerk reaction, right? Yeah. Let's say from Aaron Cheriot, briefly as well.
You know, Dibal, in ancient Rome, when Brutus participated in the funeral of Julius Caesar, and he was given the chance to speak, and asked, why did you participate in the killing of your bosom buddy? He said, it is not that I loved Julius Caesar less, but I love Rome more. What Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta did in the handshake is not that they love their supporters any less, but they love Kenya more. And their loving of Kenya more should now give us and yield more better results for our country, because like Jacoyo says, we have done these things over and over again. The radical surgery of judiciary, we did it in 2003. Here we are back again 15 years down the line. We still continue to face the kind of challenges that we faced back then. Therefore, it is time for us to think creatively and say, what is it that we can do? For example, when the issue of corruption that we've discussed this morning, what are the deterrence measures that you can put in place? When you speak about, for example, the issue of police officers on the road continuing to collect a bribe with great impunity, is it times that we thought and said, let's bite the bullet and let them wear body cameras? They do it in America. It doesn't mean that you're corrupt as a police officer, but it is a deterrence measure. It stops you from engaging even in the discussion of what amount of the bribe should be. You know, when you speak about the judges that you're struggling with, in other countries, they elect judges the same way as elected members of parliament are. It is time we spoke up and say, is it time that we considered and say, produce to us a list of qualified men and women that can serve in our judiciary, then we elect based on their character. And we take it even deep down to the devolved units where we say, Kericho, for example, the county I represent, our head of high court there is someone, a son of ours that you can elect and vote for them and say, this is a man or a woman of integrity. We know if we give him our courts to lead, we will get justice therein. It's time to think creatively so that we can have a better Kenya.
Right, Mutula Kilonzo. Where, first of all, does it put your party leader in terms of that particular handshake?
He
and
never
of course,
apologized, by the way.
He never apologized.
He only accepted the deputy president's forgiveness, but he never said sorry. I don't know
No,
why.
But forgiveness and apology.
Forgiveness and apology.
He said, I forgive you. You just saw the clip.
They should stop
But
using the word
how would
and.
you-
Anyway, I want to believe
Or he wanted just a
must have
statement.
been a slip of the tongue, but everything about his body language was like he was apologetic like everybody.
Let's hear from the party member. Why are you holding brief for? Yes, the vice chair is here.
The handshake must be understood, and that is the reason why I'm happy about the statement he made last week. When he was prompted by some of my colleagues in Wiper to take off from Raila, he rebuffed them because I think they were just playing to the gallery and being childish and immature. The fact that Raila and Uhuru had a handshake does not necessarily mean that Raila has necessarily become a Jubilee member. Quite to the contrary. My only concern, two concerns. One, therefore, and I agree with Otiende Amolo, and this gentleman is very objective. That those apologies were very personal. And I don't think they needed to have a national prayer breakfast where the four of them forgive one another, strictly speaking. And I want to be very clear that what they were doing involved a lot of people.
Yes,
Kenyans died. Children were shot by police. Innocently, others in the balcony, others in their homes. If these four gentlemen want Kenyans to truly understand that they have forgiven one another, they should walk to these families of Mora, Mutinda, and everybody. And we say we are sorry for your child that you lost. Is there something we can do to help you? Is there something that we can do to help your family? It must go beyond the four of them. I sometimes think, I don't agree with Wetangula that it was a charade. It's not a charade. He should also go to the podium and apologize for his uncouth statements that he has made in the past about other people and support a good cause. Because we must deal with the optics first. The optics of forgiveness, first of all, must go to that extent where people apologize publicly. But we must involve the public, and I would like to see a situation where we go to the families of people who found body bags in Kisumu. Body bags were retrieved. Who threw those people into the lake, for example? There are people in this country, just like in the post-election violence, there are people who have suffered because of politicians, our utterances. And while we shake hands and form coalitions, we do not repair the damage of losing 5 children, 6 children, etc., etc. But I want to say this, and it is to us who are in the minority, that the fact that Raila, Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta shook hands does not necessarily mean we don't ask Jubilee the necessary questions about corruption. We must put these guys to task. Every day we must tell them, you are corrupt, and you are stealing, and you are a thief.
Thank you.
We must do what Boni Halwale did when it came to Kimunya. Say, you are a thief, and we are going to deal with you. And let me tell you, National Assembly has a role. They are the only organ, and Otiende Amolo is sitting here, they are the only organ that has been given the right to censure cabinet secretaries. We do not have that. If we did, we would summon these people and censure them for the corruptions in their dockets. That is how to deal with the handshake in terms of corruption.
Right, thank you. Finally, let's hear from Kimani Matangi as we're winding up.
Thank you. Now that Otiende Amolo wanted to make 3 quick points, can I make 3 in 2? Anyway, you know, let's first tell our viewers that it is true. You know, the handshake has now become international. International, you saw Kizza Besigye and Museveni shaking hands 2 days ago. It's actually even in the paper today. And that tells you, you know, what is the impact of that gesture itself, just the impact of it. I mean, it goes way beyond the boundaries of this country to the extent that Museveni in his state house in Uganda feels it. And he seeks his bitter rival, Kizza Besigye, somebody they have who has been sprayed with pepper in the eyes in the streets of Kampala. And then they get together and shake hands. And that tells you that the power of the symbolism of it is enormous. And if you want to remember Dibal, I would like to remind you as our host here. If you remember when we used to come here and it was absolute NASA and it was Jubilee red in red, and I would sit here in Jakoyo and Halwale, and actually sometimes at the stairs as we were walking down, the temperatures would be so hot here that we would almost throw punches down here as we were going out. Please, Dibal, don't pretend to forget that there was a time that it was impossible to sit in this panel. Yes. When almost 5 of us were sitting here and we would scream and shout. You know, I was lucky that that this guy never put anything in my coffee. You know, I mean, it was that bad. Yes. It was almost personal. And so, when we're asking what is the effect of it, and I just want to say one thing, because you denied me the 3-1. That is, you know, Dibal, you know,
just wind up
what
we
did
yes.
in 2007, 2008, we went seeking people internationally from the US, from Uganda, from Tanzania to come and put our leaders together, as though we cannot do it, just to reconcile and shake hands. Now this time, they have done it at their own self-instigation. Now what does that tell us? That we have matured as a country. That now what we are doing, we have made steps in the right direction. And as you saw that day when they shook hands, actually markets went up. That is the effect of the handshake.
Thank you.
It's got value.
Thank you.
For this
I'll
country.
just read 1 or 2.